Welcome to BossBC.com News. For many of us, generating and managing the ceaseless flow of news, social media and questionable facts has become a full-time job. In a deeply divided country, it can be difficult to find consensus about anything other than the fact that we are living in a stressful time. Nearly two-thirds of Americans say the mainstream press is full of fake news. Let's see what American people think about different issues. Please leave your comment below.
I'm John. We're here to defend President Trump against this insurrection, against this coup d'etat being run through the FBI, the Democratic Party, the news media, and also a few knuckleheads Republicans too. And the fact is that we're looking at a complete turning point in history, and that's why they are freaked out. Because since the 9/11 attack under Bush and Obama, we had a new war every week. They sent terrorists into countries to overthrow the government and kill their presidents. We did it in Iraq, and Libya, and Syria. We destroyed the country. And Ukraine, we overthrew the government. And London, Wall Street, establishments, bankrupt, are trying to prevent this cooperation here. United States, Russia, China. Because if U.S., Russia, China get together, no more wars. And the world can move forward with incredible speed for economic development. China is doing it already. 700 million people out of poverty in 20 years. Japan wants to join. India, the United States has to join. Otherwise, all of this will fail, and sooner or later we end up in World War III and blow up the planet. If they succeed in overthrowing President Trump, like they're trying to do, then the danger of nuclear war is back. So the truth is that Russia and China want to make the United States great again also, because they want the United States to stop being the dumb giants for the British Empire, starting a new war every week and bailing out Wall Street while people suffer. So we have a chance now to make the United States a modern nation with high-speed rail, nuclear power, bring back the space program. This is going to require cooperation with China, with Russia, Japan, etc.
But do you think Putin wants to make us great again?
Absolutely. They're lying about him just like they're lying about him. We overthrew the government in Ukraine and then said Russia invaded Ukraine. They didn't invade Ukraine.
So you think they're not invading Ukraine, right?
No.
So you mean Crimea belonged to Russia, not to Ukraine?
For 300 years. In the 50s, Khrushchev, just when it was all part of the Soviet Union, reassigned Crimea to the Ukraine.
And you think they just can go through the border without any legal action and just take it over?
It wasn't Putin's idea, but the Ukrainian parliament voted to secede because the new government of Yatsenyuk in Ukraine wanted to exterminate. It's a policy of exterminating the Russians.
So you think in Crimea, Russian was about to exterminate?
See, the U.S. State Department and NATO put a small minority in power in Ukraine. The Ukrainian Nazis.
Okay, I have a question. I'm actually from Ukraine, and the Crimea, 97% of Russians, not Ukrainian. Some Ukrainian, some Tatarian, but Russian is a big majority. How small amount of Ukrainian can exterminate a big majority of Russian people?
Because it's NATO. You now have NATO divisions with nuclear weapons, tanks on the Russian border.
So you think NATO will come and kill Russian in Crimea? This is your idea?
They're not after that kind of a war.
Okay.
This is a strategic war. They're trying to move the anti-missile systems 200 miles from Moscow by going up to the border, the ABM system.
So in other words...
So that Russia loses its strategic deterrence. So that we could attack Russia with nuclear weapons and they could not returned because we have the ABMs now on the border of Russia, in Romania and Poland, etc. That's what it's about. And all the other stuff is for the theater, for people who don't know anything about the world or history or the British Empire.
Okay.
And that's the problem in the United States. Democrats are so stupid that they, like cattle, now think we must overthrow, maybe we have to assassinate the president. They say so. Every night they're making these cartoons and everything else about how we have to assassinate the president.
Okay,
There's never been anything
so let me ask you something.
so violent as this before, and that's the same in Ukraine.
So in other words,
all the Russians are the enemy.
okay, so
crazy.
okay,
Russia and
no,
Ukraine are
I
neighbors. They should get along
understand.
like neighbors.
Question. So your idea, if these three guys come together, it
Yeah,
means
plus
Chinese, Trump, and Putin, they will be against British Empire, which is main problem, right?
London and Wall Street. You see,
So Wall Street and London the most problem, you think?
absolutely.
I see.
Yeah, we have, since 2008, we have been bailing them out for trillions of dollars. The Royal Bank of Scotland, Goldman Sachs, etc., etc. And now they are more bankrupt than they were in 2008. And the whole system is about to blow again. But the thing is that London and Wall Street, their system has run the world. And especially since the death of Franklin Roosevelt. And they say, we run the world.
Yes, sir.
We will not let anybody get in front of us. The truth is that in the 1990s, after the Berlin Wall came down, Gorbachev and the NATO, they made an agreement. You open up to Gorbachev. You open up, and we will promise not to bring NATO to your border.
My question to you, whatever USA promised, did you see this agreement on the paper?
There's nothing in writing.
It's just words, right? Okay, okay.
But it's stupid. There's nothing in writing that says Russia cannot put their missiles, in Mexico. But what if they did it? It would be stupid.
Okay, let's go to the bottom of the problem. So you think if three guys come together, Chinese, American, and Russia, we will be good, and the main point against the British.
Point I was making before.
Okay.
Is when the Soviet system disintegrated.
Okay.
Okay. Before that, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union and all that. When it came down, Mr. LaRouche made a proposal.
Okay.
That we have a disintegration now, Eastern Europe and the Soviet economy. So we don't want war. So let's work together in this area, Europe, Eastern Europe, Russia, to avoid war by going with economic development. But what happened instead is Wall Street and London went in with the bank and raped Eastern Europe.
Hold on. Wall Street, it's in New York, I believe, right?
Wall Street is a term that refers to globalization.
Okay.
Global banking dictatorship under the IMF.
So you, in other words, it's like, yes.
Because it's a simple point. But instead we went in and took down 70% of all the production in Eastern Europe and Russia in a matter of a few years.
Okay.
So these people thought, okay, we did it. Russia is gone. They're no longer a power. They're hardly even a nation anymore. We rule the world. Unipolar world. We are the new Rome.
Okay.
We are the new Rome. But what happened in 1998, Prime Minister Primakov began to turn Russia around. And then Putin came in after Primakov, and they ran an operation to get Primakov out right away. In 6 months, Primakov increased Russian production, by 20% or something. Then Putin came in and continued. So Russia has been revitalized. So these people of the new Rome thought they had destroyed their main opponents, because they think their understanding is that it's a law of the jungle. Everyone is our enemy until we crush them. Then we're on top. This law of the jungle mentality, that's the British Empire. So Russia has been revitalized. Their policy is to destroy Russia, destroy China. This was World War I, because after the 1870s, 80s, Bismarck in Germany who was a follower of Lincoln, did what Lincoln did, built railroads, built industry. By the 1890s, Germany had a bigger economy and a bigger navy than Britain. So Britain said, we must destroy Germany. And they organized World War I. Today, there's a group called the Project for the New American Century. It's Jeb Bush, it's people like that, it's Dick Cheney. And they say China must be destroyed. Why? One reason, they're economically ahead of us. So therefore they must be destroyed.
So you think we're about to destroy China? This is what we're about?
No, China is
so in your mind...
No, because Trump is not for it.
Okay, so in your mind Putin is a good guy. He wants peace and he don't want to take somebody's land, like neighbors, like... by the way, besides Crimea, we have eastern Ukraine, Donbass, stuff like this, and this is not part of Crimea.
It's not the genocide, and maybe, you know...
So you think in Donbass, Bandera kill Russian people? This is what you think, like fascists from Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
But do you know it for sure, or you just read it from newspapers?
You should read our intelligence magazine instead of reading the crap in the news media.
Okay.
Executive Intelligence Review. So the point is that we can now end. It's like, do people want anything good for their children, or do they just want their children, grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren to just continue this game of war?
No, why I'm asking all this question, because
why is North and South Korea?
No. I'm just talking about particularly about Ukraine, because I'm from Ukraine and I know a lot of things not from any newspaper, because I'm on internet. I talk to people who live there. So if you're talking about Bandera, fascism, I mean, it's all over people, fascists. In Russia we have fascists, and in St. Petersburg was meeting of fascists. Do you know about this or not? From all over the world.
I'm not going to continue this forever. So
okay.
I'll just say this. The average person in the United States, not the average person, but many people in the United States, are walking around down the street talking about how we have to assassinate the President of the United States. They live here,
okay,
and they don't know any better. Because you live in Ukraine doesn't mean you understand. You can't understand it unless you look at the global view. The game masters are not in Ukraine. They've turned Ukraine into a puppet colony of NATO. It's a NATO colony now.
I got it.
And economically, Ukraine is much worse off now than it was in 2014.
Okay.
It's in very great danger.
Last question. So you support the Trump, right?
Yeah, I didn't vote. We didn't campaign for Trump.
But right now, whatever he's doing, you like?
What he said was, if Hillary Clinton is elected,
okay,
we are in World War III with Russia.
So in other words, from two bad guys, Hillary worse than Trump, in your opinion?
Not worse, it's different. Hillary was a continuation of this 9/11 apparatus that took over our country.
Okay.
W. Bush, and then Obama. They bombed our cities, right? And we attacked every country from Central Africa to Central Asia, except one country, Saudi Arabia, the country that ran the hijacking. They're our friends. So what does that tell you about the 9/11 attack? It was a coup. And every week we're fighting a new war. Who are we going to bomb this week? Every Tuesday, Obama sits in the White House and plans out where the drones will go.
Me personally, I don't want to bomb anybody.
Bring that thumb over here.
I want to bring more jobs and more money to America.
Now, the infrastructure in New York City is beyond dangerous. It's beyond critical. The transit system doesn't work. The delivery of water, it's all over 100 years old. Like President Trump said in Ohio last week, he said, look, not only have we not improved our infrastructure, but we don't even maintain and repair what we have from before. And New York City is the best example, because we have 2 tunnels under the Hudson, and 4 under the East River, that handle all of the passenger transit from all of New England to west of the Hudson River. They go through 2 tunnels under the Hudson River. You know, and they have cast iron frames. Cast iron does not last forever. Definitely cannot last 150 years. It's been there 110 years. It got flooded by Sandy, so you have corrosion from the seawater going on. There's still no policy to deal with this. You're talking about many million people in this area. We had droughts in California.
Do you have a website where they can check up?
Yeah, we had drought in California for 5 years.
No, I'm talking about all this movement. Do you have a website to take a look on it? Just put it up.
Right there.
Okay.
You take that with you. You take it with
Okay, this is the website. Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome to BossBC.com News. For many of us, generating and managing the ceaseless flow of news, social media and questionable facts has become a full-time job. In a deeply divided country, it can be difficult to find consensus about anything other than the fact that we are living in a stressful time. Nearly 2/3 of Americans say the mainstream press is full of fake news. Let's see what American people think about different issues. Please leave your comment below. Thanks for watching BossBC.com News. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel.